Hello everyone, another slightly late episode of Music of the Week. I don't really have a lot of preamble to go through, but I do have 6 albums to go through, so I'm going to try and get through them as quickly as I can. We begin with Dogstar and their newest album, Somewhere Between Power Lines and Palm Trees. Now, for those who might be familiar with Dogstar, that is the band that Keanu Reeves is a member of. He plays bass in the band. He sadly does not sing. Whoa. Giving this the lowest grade of the episode, though, which is B-, I thought it was the band's first album in like 23 years. I thought it was a mostly inoffensive bit of modern day, like very light and breezy, hard rocky, post grungy stuff. In fact, there's not really much of a grunge element. It's just mostly like a pop rock leaning alternative rock album, but it's got some nice elements. I think the lyrics are, mostly. I know they're mostly themed like around love and like the process of growing up. But very, very sweet in their delivery. I thought the performances were quite good, especially Keanu on bass. Like, even though it figures that the coolest guy in the band, one of the coolest people in the world, gets the cool instrument too. Like, I know this sounds insincere, but no, I genuinely do mean that. And he's probably the standout in terms of performances as well. Like, I like they actually hear the bass work, including in the production as well. That didn't really gloss over it. Yeah, just light and breezy stuff. Structurally, it's not a lot to snark at, neither from an instrumental standpoint. It knows exactly what it is, just this really nice and sort of comfy feeling album. Yeah, I could recommend it, even if it's less graded as the thing in the episode. It's still got some really good elements, and also Keanu Reeves. We all like Keanu Reeves, he's lovable. Next we have the first of like a trilogy of albums that came out in earlier points in the year. We have Echo with his newest album, the Detour 4, or the D4 Tour, depending on how you want to spell it. So, Echo is an artist I became familiar with through a Crypt rap cypher like 3 years ago, 2-3 years ago, and I heard his Detour 2 album. I didn't hear the Detour 3 because I didn't know that was a thing. Because that came out last year, the Detour 2 came out like 2021, so I was not expecting him to get the albums out that quick. Giving the Detour 4, which came out back in January, by the way, of this year, a B+. I thought it had some really solid elements to it. I don't like it as much as I like the Detour 2. I feel like it's a bit of a long album. It also doesn't delve into the more personal topics as much, but it does showcase Echo's unique wordplay, and I've always really liked his raspy delivery, and his performance is really good. There's a surprising lack of features, which is weird because this album is a lot longer than his Detour 2. I think Mercules is on the song, and there's a couple of other people, but, I can't even remember who they are. Production-wise, it's really good, though. Just solid feeling beats all around, really good production on said beats. I really like the sort of hip-hop flow of it all. It does lean more into, like, the heavier style of it, but it's a style that Echo excels at, again, because of his voice and how powerful his delivery can be at times. Structurally wise, it's a bit of a long one, but that's weirdly not too much of a deal breaker. It does have a consistent style to it, which I do quite enjoy. Yeah, performance wise, really good. Production wise, really good. Lyrically, sort of stuff about mental health a little bit, but mostly just like life as a musician, I think. I can't remember a lot about the main theme, and I tried to look, but I'm just making shit up as I go. But lyrically wise, got a lot of really good wordplay, and Echo is a really good rapper, so give this one a go. Next we have Guilt Trip and their new album Severance. I think this is their second one, and as people know, I like it when there's a group from the UK. This is the first of 2 groups in this episode from the UK, and I'm giving it a B. They're from Manchester, by the way. Yeah, I'm giving it a B. Really solid bit of hardcore, punky, thrash metal-y kind of stuff. I quite enjoyed it though. I thought the riffs were super fast-paced and have a lot of punch to them. Lyrically wise, it is about sort of standing up for yourself and sort of like spitting in the face of negativity, and I like that as a good theme in a hardcore punk album. In terms of performances, the entire band do go pretty goddamn hard. I think there's a couple of guest spots on this one, but I can't remember if there is, and if there is, they did a good job. If there's not, well, they probably would have done a good job if they were there. Production-wise, it's surprisingly clean for what it is. I think it's maybe a bit over processed in times, but it does lead to a very big sound, which I quite enjoy. I think the riffs are really well paced out too. They're usually really quick, but, they don't waste their time either, which I quite like, and that leans well into the pacing and the structuring of the album. Construction-wise, yeah, it's got a very simple but not simplistic feeling, and I really like it when that happens. Performance-wise from the band as well, I only really glossed over the guest spots. Yeah, no, the band are really good too, especially the drummer. He does a good job. So yeah, a really solid bit of UK hardcore punk if you're into that stuff, and I know I am because I'm from the UK and I like hardcore punk. So me like this one. Next we have Harm's Way and their new album Common Suffering. I think this is their first one in about 5 years as well. For those who might be familiar with Harm's Way, you might know the meme of the lead singer James Plig? I have no idea. Please? I don't know. Who is a huge dude who does the Running Man dance. You've probably seen like the memes of that. The dude is also, as I found out when I was doing a bit of research into the album and into the band, found out he was a fucking substitute teacher and turned PE teacher. And considering how bloody huge he is naturally as well, like, you know, they're a straight edge rockcore band, he's a naturally big, muscly guy. And yeah, he trains PE. I'm giving this one a B+, by the way, I should have specified that. Yeah, no, this is like Guilt Trip's album, but a little bit better in some areas. I like the industrial and atmospheric feel. I wasn't really expecting that from this band, but then again, this is my first Harm's Way album, so what the hell do I know? I really wish that they do keep that feeling going throughout it. I like the lyrics as well. There is a solid theme. If I can remember what the hell it is, I'll tell you. I think in terms of performances, James, however the fuck he says his surname, does a really good job. He's got like a really big voice, which fits, because again, huge dude. He does a really good delivery as well. The rest of the band are fantastic as well. I think production-wise it does lean quite a lot onto the atmosphere, but that is a good serving point to the sound. It makes it feel weirdly organic in what it's trying to do, and it succeeds in what it's trying to do, so that works for me. Structurally wise, it sticks to that pacing quite nicely too. I really like the overall vibe and feel of the album. It's more of a metalcore album than a hardcore punk album. But it keeps a really solid core formula and finds a lot of fun ways to mess with it, especially atmospherically. I know I've brought that up a lot for this one, but yeah, it does fit the thing quite well, so I really quite enjoyed this one. Next we go back to the UK though, specifically Bristol, for the band Svalbard and their fourth album, I said third, The Weight of the Mask, and fuck, I feel so bad that I missed their last album, in 2020 by like a fucking narrow margin. Because I think that would have made the top 30 if I listened to it in 2020, but I covered it in early 2021 and I felt bad. But yeah, no, this gets an A+. Svalbard are one of the best post-metal / post-hardcore bands from the UK in a long bloody time. They just have this fantastic style. I love the fucking energy that goes into each song in this one. I love the innovation that they have. They're one of the smartest bands going right now, and I don't think they get enough credit for it. And lead singer Serena Cherry has an amazing voice. She's one of the best screamers going, and one of the low-key best singers going. People don't really talk about that. Her guitar works great too. Like, the entire band are fucking on point with this one. I love the lyrical themes, which focus on love and depression and anxiety, and it's a lot less political than the previous works were. I've gone over the performances, but again, everyone's fucking great. The production's fantastic as well. It was done by Lewis Johns, who handled Pupil Slicer's album earlier this year, and Lewis Johns, you are 2 for 2 on fucking banger albums by female-led bands from the UK who are very fucking innovative in what they do. Go listen to Blossom by Pupil Slicer, by the way, but also fucking listen to this one. Obviously, I don't need to explain it, but the A+ grade is the highest grade of the episode. Also, the only album to get an A-related grade for this episode. Yeah, structurally wise, it's fantastic as well. I really fucking love how much stuff it works in, how it sticks to their core sound, but again, works in these wonderful post elements, like the atmosphere and the fucking innovation, and how deep it feels, but without feeling like it's insulting you for not keeping up. I love it when an album has that feel to it and when it sort of has that personality. And fuck yeah, I mean, Svalbard might be one of the best bands in British metal right now, and considering how much I love British metal, that is fucking saying something. I cannot wait to see what they drop next. This is only their fourth album, by the way. I think I said I said fourth album, but yeah, go listen to it, it's fucking great. And finally, we end with a debut, Teen Jesus and the Gene Teasers, with their first album titled I Love You. So, first of all, the name fucking rules. Secondly, all-female girl bands, punk, from Australia. That's the majority of my boxes ticked. I'm giving this one a B though, right? Because I feel like there might be a little bit of something holding it back. It's a very good bit of leaning, of bubblegum rock punk leaning stuff, and I quite like it. I like the style. I like the personality and charisma that the band have. I feel like some of the style may be a bit too basic in terms of instrumentation, but I do like it when it does let itself go off the rails and let itself feel a bit more raw in its approach. I think maybe the production might be what causes it. I think it's a bit over polished for a band like this. I feel if it were left more with a concrete and organic feel. I don't know, maybe that's sort of where it falls apart for me. But in terms of structure, it's really good with that. In terms of lyrics about like being in a band and having to move states and broken relationships, it does touch on those themes quite well. I like the wordplay that they utilize. Very good double entendres and innuendos, which I would not expect anything less of when it comes to a band from Australia. Performance-wise, really great too. Really like what the band members do. I think my favourite I gave to the guitarist Scarlett McKee, but all the band is really goddamn good. They have this really good like personality between them and really good energy, and I quite like that. And I really hope that they keep that mindset for the second album if they stick around to make a second album, which I hope they do. I've gone through pretty much everything. I think, structurally wise, it does have a good flow as well. Quite like how it's paced out and how it does, again, it sticks to a main thing, but it works around that thing in some very fun ways. I just wish it were allowed to do a little bit more than it was, but as it is, this is a really good debut, and I hope that they learn from like the very minor mistakes on the album and fix those and improve, because that's all you can hope for. And that'll about do it now to do the unofficial ranking system. So for me it would go Dogstar with Between the Power Lines and Palm Trees, Guilt Trip with Severance, Teen Jesus and the Gene Teasers with I Love You, hang on, let me scroll a bit so I can remember the other album. There we go. Echo with the Detour 4. Harm's Way with Common Suffering, and out at the top Svalbard with The Way of the Mask. But as always, go and listen to all of these on your own, as always, and formulate your own opinions about them, because that's what makes this shit oh so very interesting. And that'll about do it. The next thing we'll see will be tomorrow, maybe a reaction of sorts, and also the return show for PBW versus AVW. I can't believe we're like starting tomorrow, 3 weeks away from Defy the Gods. That is fucking insane to think of. I cannot wait for that show. Got some big plans, I hope none of them fall through. And next thing I'll see for after tomorrow might be a Friday night review, because there wasn't one last Sunday. So, yeah, that's just something you'll have to deal with. But I'll definitely see you tomorrow for something. So, yeah, count on that. And as always, thank you for watching, you're awesome. Bye-bye.